Okay, I had people out there. I'll make my Tomahawks with giant handle on them. I'm gonna show you. I done cut all the bark off of it right here. We'll go out and get me an oak limb, cut all the bark off of it, put it on the dash of my car, or put it in the oven at low temperature and dry it out real good. Because if you don't, it'll shrink. Find a deer antler I want this size to match in diameter, cut me a notch. I gotta fit this, it's not even close to fitting. But anyway, I'll put these two together. Once I get them together, I'll drill 2 holes through there and put 2 bone pins in there to keep it from doing this. Then, I take this, and I got this notch cut where to fit. And I'm gonna sand this down real smooth, and I'll steam it on a steamer and bend it all the way over. Cut this off right about here and put it there. I'll show you when I get this finished. I'm not gonna steam on these. They're green enough. I think I can bend them enough without having to worry about steaming it. Okay, now I didn't steam this. What I did, you can get away with it lots of times. And steaming, I gotta get my steam box out. It's just a long process getting it set up. But what I did is this piece was real long here, as you saw, and I marked right where it's gonna bend over that. And I took my sander and sanded a deep groove in there. And then I put it on here, and I bent it to cover that. And see how that flared up? I'll sand all that smooth. You'll lose a good bit of that off there, but it'll still be solid most of the time with oak. And then once I get it done like that, I'm gonna sand all this down here smooth to match this. I'll get it glued and then sand it. So that's the next step, getting this ready. I cut this piece where it go right about here. It was real long, and I had it extra long. Now I can't get this out. Okay, now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start cutting down so I won't have to sand as much. Taking my knife and trimming it. And the problem is, a knot always ends up where you don't want it at. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim real fast where the knot's at. Where the knot is not. Past the knot. I'm gonna take my sander and sand through the knot. Better than doing my pocket knife. So anyway, I'm gonna go in and sand through that. And I'm gonna sand these to make a match. And then we're gonna come back and see what we got. I got a lot of sanding to do right here. I won't bore you with that. Okay, now I got this piece sanded where it's fitting tight. Drilled 2 little pinholes. I'm gonna glue it real good, and after the glue dry, I'm gonna drill 2 little holes. Put 2 little bone pins, or you can put a little copper pins, it don't matter, because it's gonna be covered up. These holes like this here, I fill them in with glue. I mix glue with sawdust and pack it in there. And then I sand it down smooth. I'm gonna show you how to do that. But first we wanna make sure we got this lined up here like we want it. All right, this is looking pretty good right here. So I'm gonna mix some glue up, and I'm gonna come back and put it on that. Okay, this is glue mixed up with sawdust. This side was a little low right here, so I'm gonna get it just right. So when I put it in there, that's perfect. I'm gonna pack that in there real good, and that's gonna keep that head from coming down. It's perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm gonna take it out, I'm gonna ease it out, and that glue will be drying a little bit. Meantime, I'm gonna fill this little slot up right here, all these little cracks. I'm gonna pack in with this glue. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna make some epoxy up and use on this. I don't usually use epoxy if I'm trying to do something I can do fast and get it over with. Excuse me, I'm sneezing, man. Sorry about that. I don't know what I do with my epoxy. There it is. Right there. Put it right there. Okay. Putting a little epoxy in here. That's about all of my epoxy. I don't want to worry about trying to save it. We'll mix it up right here. I make rawhide out of deer skin. And that's what I use the back bows with. It's what I use on this. And in my other projects I want natural leather, something that looks real and not modern. If it's not brain tanned or just rawhide, I don't want to use it. It's like using artificial sinew to me, it just ain't right. Alright, I'm going to take this out of here. I got it wedged. I'm going to put this epoxy over here. I'm going to drop half of it on the floor. That wasn't good. Oh well, it don't matter. Let's see, I got a hammer right here. See if I can knock it in with this hammer. Pretty tight. That ought to be tight. Nope. I guess because that epoxy's slippery, it won't get tight. Oh well. We're going to put her right there and let her dry. Get back to another part. Okay, I took sawdust, just old white glue, whatever brand you want to use. I mixed it up real thick and I filled all these holes there where this is going to be smooth and even. Then I'll sand it down when it dries. And I'm going to put the head in next. We'll have that okay, here's the final part of my Tomahawk. I'm going to sand this down smooth here and sand that a little bit smooth there. This is all the sawdust mixed with the glue. I'll round all this up and shape it where it looks like one single piece. Then I'm going to take me a piece of stiff paper and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to mark it. It's going to give me a rough idea of where I need to cut my rawhide. I don't know why, but that's kind of strange to me. But that's kind of the hardest, most difficult thing to me is getting measured. And sometimes I have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it right. But anyway, I'm gonna put it right up against up under here. Let it hit the flint. And I'm gonna roll it around like that. I'm gonna come around like this. Now, I need to cut it off. Right in here. I'm just gonna guess at that. Really, I can always make that longer once I cut my pattern out. I'm gonna try it one more time. Put it around here. Get it right there. Now it's a little wider at the bottom because it's thicker. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna mark off all this excess stuff here I could cut off. Then we're gonna trim it off. What you got to remember is that when you wet that rawhide, it's going to stretch. Now, this part's ready. This is going on the base. This is going on this part. This is the next part I got to get ready. I'm going to go ahead and cut it narrow. I know about how wide I need to cut it. Get my paper going in my trash can here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut from this base. That's where that's where these pieces ended. It's going to be a solid piece of leather. So it's going to be just like this. Let's just pretend it's a solid piece now. So I'm right here on the base. I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to bring it down somewhere right in here. Cut it off. We're going to cut it off right here. I could probably make this more narrow, but what I found out is when you fold it over here, you want it about as wide as that groove you got right there, so I'm gonna need to make it a little narrow. And that way when it dries, it cramps in and you can't see anything through there. So I need to cut a little bit more off. I just estimated. We'll make it about as wide as that groove. So it'll be perfect right here. All right, now, I hope it's fixing to make sense to you now. This is all one solid piece, right there. And that's where I'm gonna cut my pattern out. So basically, I found some tape. Yeah, my tape wasn't supposed to stick to that, but it did. Let me cut her off. Do it like this. Sorry about that delay there. That's what my piece of leather is going to look like. So here's my deer rawhide. Got the hair removed and the flesh removed. What I do is I roll it out. And I'm going to mark this off on here. And I'm going to stop the video and start it back after I get it marked off. I don't need doing all that on here. Okay, now I cut this out. I'm checking it, make sure it's going to fit. I'm going to just a little gap right there, or you can have it solid, it don't matter. But it looks like it's going to be a good fit. And this is a strip that comes over like this. And this is going to be sewed on top of the strip. This stuff's so stiff I can't hardly fold it. Anyway, it's going to be like this. And all you're going to see is this antler sticking out right here. So I got to soak this in water probably for 4 hours, a little longer than that. We're going to come back and we're going to put it on there and we're going to lace it up and we're going to mold it. Okay, I started this, and once again my video for some reason just ain't working right, but anyway, we're going to punch a hole in here. I made me an awl to punch a hole, and it looks like I'm probably going to have to sharpen it again. For some reason it don't seem like it's sharp enough. I got a tack in here, keep this pulled down. This part here, I put a tack in there to hold it. So I'm gonna come in here like this and start sewing it up. Probably would have been best. I usually put these holes in here before I start lacing it up. I don't know why I decided to do it this way this time, but I did. And, trust me, it's not working as near as easy as if I'd already done it. Never done it like this before. I always put your holes in first. Alrighty. Let's pull this little tack out here. And I see right now that my laces, this here part is way too long, too wide. I'm gonna come here and cut it out, make it a little more narrow. We gotta put just a hole in here and a hole in there. You probably know some simpler ways than I do of lacing this thing up, but this is the way I've always done it. Except I have always had the holes pre-punched, and I see right now this is just way too. I don't know how I got this far off with this. Y'all see me measure it with the paper, but I don't know. I guess because it's stretching. Cut a little off at a time as we go with it. This is all it is to it. I mean, all I'm basically doing is throwing this rawhide on here, and it's hiding the wooden handle. You don't see the wooden handle part. And I do sell these rawhides. I can sell strips or a whole hide or whatever. If you're interested in a hide, I have them. I process them my own self. It's kind of going a little easier now. It's kind of getting it started at first, sometimes a little aggravating. I hope I'm keeping this in the, keeping it focused in the camera enough that y'all can see okay. I get to looking down, I don't pay no attention where I'm moving it to. It's just big old leather needle, I think, or I just might have bought these needles at Walmart or something. They're just big old needles. And they seem to work pretty good. I think if I wrap this under here, I won't have to come back and try to cut it off like I've been doing. Go see if it'll wrap under there. It might roll up. I've never tried this before. This is my first time trying this. That went under there okay. Working all right. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna stop it and cut it. Okay, we back. I trimmed it off, so, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. It was okay. I just didn't like the, for some reason I didn't like the wrinkles in it. A little more wrinkles than what I like, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how I did this. I got this out here below the handle so that way. Leave it to me. Nah, it's not quite. It just kind of wadded up right in there, and I just didn't like that. It don't matter. I don't guess. If some people like a bed made up so smooth you bounce a quarter off of it. Think about my military days. I know I got a fan blowing behind me, and we had a rain today. We hadn't had a rain in, Lord have mercy, I don't know how long we needed it rain. But this leather's drying out real quick. It's not stretching as much, so I gotta hurry up and get on the ball here. Get this job finished. Yeah, I got back out of the camera view again. I'm sorry. Trying to get it close to my body where I'm stronger. Kind of push a little harder up against my fat belly. I kind of like to punch my holes kind of back about a quarter of an inch from the edge of that leather in case it tears. Sometimes that leather's pretty thin according to what part of the deer the hide comes off of, and it'll tear out. I didn't get that hole in there good enough. Whew. That was tough going there. Alright, now, I'm going to try to keep it in focus. I'm going to go ahead and punch all these holes right here in. I don't know why that don't want to go through there, man. Okie dokie. We're going to tighten up here, see what we can do. Here's one that I don't think it went through. I did everything I could and it just, no, it didn't. Try it again. There we go. There we go. It wasn't holding my mouth right. Now when you get to the bottom, if it's not even, don't worry about that. I'll show you what to do with it in a minute. Man. Oh. Oh, let's get a pair of pliers on that one. Alright, now, this is the end of it. I'm gonna run this up in this hole right here. Pull it through like this. And then I'm gonna run it all the way around. A couple of times. I'm going to pull it through this hole. I'm just going to start pulling it back up through here and tighten it real tight. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to move this out of the way. I run it through there, up through that hole right there. All right, now, we'll run it under this lace, under that lace, under that lace. I'm just pulling it up. Alright, it come off my needle. Let me thread it again. Okay. Now then I'm gonna I don't know if I can get it on there or not. I don't think that's a good move there. I think what I'm gonna do is go under this lace again. Sometimes you can hit these holes on the other side pretty easy like this. You come under here, come out like this. I'm not hitting them that easy this time. Punch me a hole right there where that needle's wanting to go. There we go, look at that. A bit tough one to get through again. Trying to pull that leather through that little bitty hole because it's already filled up with leather. Just wiggle it back and forth, back and forth. Keep pulling and pulling and pulling. Kind of like pulling teeth. Do it like that a little bit. Come down here and take a little of this side. It won't be quite as thick if I do it like this. There we go. Make it come through like that. Look at that. Alright, now then, there we go. When everything dries, I'm going to cut that off. Cut this, go ahead and pull this little tack out here. Now that you can color this, I tell you what I like to do. I like to use regular wood stain, like oak or mahogany or early American, anything like that, and stain it with that. Well, when all this dries, it's going to be mashing here real. These seams right here, I'm going to put a string across there to fold them in tight. It's going to hold them in real tight. What I did with my string, I got some yucca here I can use, not yucca, but whatever they call that stuff, comes out of the ocean, some kind of grass, but anyway, I like to wrap that around it. That'll help hold it until it dries. Bring it up here and tie me a little knot in it real quick. Oops, broke it off. That wasn't too good. Stuff's so fragile. Don't have to tie it tight. You get something to keep it from unraveling. Get back in the camera angle. There we go. That ought to hold it pretty tight. Okay. Hope y'all enjoyed that video.